Good morning, guys. SimScott185 here. Welcome to a very, very windy Edinburgh airport. Super welcome to be with us today. Short little flight as part of our Six Nations little jaunt. We did these last year, and we're going to be heading down to Cardiff from Edinburgh. If I just lower my voice for a bit, you'll hear the wind at the moment whistling around the airplane. It's pretty blustery. Got our British Airways next to us. Another plane that we haven't got the livery for, but should be a nice little flight. We're actually in the beta version of Microsoft Flight Simulator, so anything could happen. But I thought we'd try something new and see where we get to when we go through the actual flight itself. I say if you're new, super welcome. Do subscribe if you enjoy it. Hit the like button. And we'll get underway. Any questions, just ask them while we are in chat, but let's get into the airplane away from that howling wind, but you can still hear it. You guys might not be able to, but I've got it here. And it is it's pretty blustery out there. Let's get the batteries turned on. Get the fuel pumps. Just going to adjust some of my sound settings here. Otherwise, it can be pretty loud. Should be good. Start aligning our navigation systems. Give the crew some oxygen, always important. We'll start the APU as well. Propy and the APU bleed. Turn seatbelts. And the emergency exits. And we'll light this up a little bit, just so we can see it. Cool. Come down here, and let's get our flight plan booted into the flight computer. There we go. So Edinburgh to Cardiff. We're going up to flight level 310, so 31,000 feet. Flying down to Cardiff today. Few things with the stream, trying to try some new things, so actually turn the settings down in Flight Simulator to give you guys more of a fluid stream. We'll see what it looks like, and any comments, super welcome, guys. I'm trying to make this as good as possible for you guys. It looks good on my screen, but I want it to be good on yours. Cool. Let's start boarding people. We can also then get bags on board, so into this menu, weight and balance, send, and start. So that's people coming on. What we can also do outside the airplane is using the fly-by-wire iPad over here. Is we can grab our flight plan, have a little look at that, and get ourselves fueled up. So hit this button here, it'll bring in again Edinburgh to Cardiff. On here we have the flight plan itself, and we need around about 5 tons of fuel, so let's round it up just in case we have to do any holding or anything as we go down. Hit that, and we're now refueling. We can also get bags on board and catering, so if we look outside, they'll start doing their thing. Really cool this in terms of the mod. You'll see when the baggage door opens up, it bounces at the top. So a little bit more realism from the fly-by-wire guys. Super impressive. You see it as it gets to the top, yeah. It's pretty cool. You can also have a look out here. And see what's going on. Here's the chap coming over now. It's great. Some of the rendering in this simulator is super good. So if I get there is unusually at this time of the morning air traffic control on at Edinburgh, so there's a ground and an approach controller which we'll talk to in a bit. But QNH is 1002 according to the ATIS, which is there. Actually, see if we can have a little listen, see if it works. Click on that and then go to here. See if it works.
Edinburgh information.
Oh.
time 1020 Zulu.
I'll let him talk while we do
Runway
this.
in use 24.
So runway in use
Transition
24.
level, flight level 75. Surface wind 230 degrees, 23 knots.
23 knots.
Visibility 10 kilometers. Edinburgh Information Hotel.
Oh, I think
Time
it just updated.
1050 Zulu. Runway in use 24. Transition level, flight level 75. Surface wind 230 degrees, 21 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers or more. Scattered 1,900 feet. Temperature +10. Dew point +7. QNH1002.
So that's the QNH1002.
Acknowledge receipt of information hotel and advise aircraft type on first contact.
Cool. Let's go to ground and we'll just keep him on there just to listen in. So that's how it happens in real life, guys. Usually on vPilot you can read it in the text box, but actually in real life it's done via a recorded message like that, and you make notes as you go through, note down the clouds, note down the runway, and so we got hotel there, which is the information, and you want to know our aircraft type as well. I suspect as well, well, the bags are on board, catering's done super quick, doesn't happen like that in real life I don't think. And then he'll also want to know what stand we're on, so if we just go into here, open up our charts list, just gonna play around with some sound just because I think I heard him there but it was really quiet. So, oh, just bring sound down in the simulator and bring vPilot up.
Green Star,
there we go.
1585, clear roads regard Mons via Tango Lima Alpha, 6 Charlie departure.
There we go. Keep them in the background.
Yeah, we'll fight for
So, where are we is the question. It's really quiet, that controller. Just turn the simulator down slightly, so at least you've got a chance of hearing him when we have a chat to him. Yeah, he's really quiet. So where are we? We're one along from the end, so we're on stand 9. So stand 9, which you'll want to know as well. So passengers are on board. Stop refueling so we can then plug in our planned fuel. Confirm that, and performance. On goes
Great, 1585 Edinburgh ground. Sounds like you're 5 meters away and talking into pillow.
It's definitely talking into pillow. Oh, that's something to do with the beta. That air bridge disappearing. Someone on approach. It's all good.
Got 395 Edinburgh radar, good morning. Inter Echo landed runway 24. Please end at flight level 90.
That's interesting. That sounds like radar rather than who will go to next after talking to this guy, but I wonder if this lets us. Yeah, there we go. He's on 121.2. Yeah, so we'll just get the sound right when he comes back on, guys, so you guys can hear that.
We got 398 from Edinburgh Echo landed runway 24. Charlie Tango, welcome to Edinburgh, taxi Alpha 12, contact ground 121 Edinburgh,
confusing who's on and who's not. Anyway, let's carry on, guys. We know what we're doing, hopefully. Go to flight plan, EGPH. We are going from runway 24. We heard that from the ATIS, and it'll be a 1 Charlie departure. And Cardiff. Per the flight plan, and we can actually see this if you could. So it's an Admiral 1 Charlie into runway 12. So if we go
Edinburgh ground
over here,
request radio check.
Oh, it's 12 and an Admiral 1 Charlie.
345, shot to 9 radio, thank you.
Okay, hold station. Is this better on my ear to you now?
That's better, we can hear now. It's quite noisy just with the noise of the aircraft around, but that's cool. So we're all set. We'll ask for a clearance in a second, guys, and get underway. So I've been using the beta version for a few hours now, and it seems okay. I have things pretty turned down due to my PC, but
Is this better now?
55, Charlie Tango.
Thank you.
it's a stressful day for that chap. So we'll call for clearance in a second, just make his day even better. So if you heard the ATIS, guys, we have to say what stand we're on, because you want to know that we've got information hotel and what type of airplane we are.
Request RFR clearance to Heathrow, please.
Old line to the India is correct, 13 for Golf Papa Charlie, 1076.
Cleared. Current information is now hotel. Cleared Heathrow by the Ghost Star.
India, but that's cool. Let's go with this.
Score 1076.
Well, like,
Shot to 9 Julia.
so we'll just be heading out this way, down here. So up to 6,000 first is the initial climb. Put that in, we can show constraint, which is cool. Yeah, I think we're all good. Alright, last for our clearance. Let's just check what we are. Okay, we'll give him a call. Oh, we won't. It's on top of me, that's helpful. If he says 9.
Cleared Tower 6 Charlie, 070, QNH 00 to E898.
It's pretty busy. Okay, we will get our call in now.
Great, that one's 585, I can hear you better now. If you want to do the IFR clearance again, please.
No, you've got it. It's correct anyway, so that we can see.
Say again, hearing that one's 585.
Yeah, it's correct as per the PDC set.
Roger.
Edinburgh ground, very good morning. Speedbird 185 with you, stand 9, information hotel, Airbus 320 Neo. Request clearance is filed to Cardiff.
Speedbird 185, cleared Cardiff, Golf Papa Charlie, Squawk 5243,
Good to Cardiff, Gotham 1 Charlie, Squawk 5243 and QNH 1002, Speedbird 185.
185, correct.
Cool. Let us get that punched in.
Right,
It's quite interesting that you hear people on Vatsim sort of saying goodbye, which isn't necessary, and you don't have to do it in real life, but it's I guess it's courtesy, isn't it, sometimes to the controller. But once they give you clearance to your stand and you're on stand, you don't have to tell them you're shutting down. But in this world, it's sometimes nice. If it's not too busy, if it's super busy, then if someone's trying to get a call in and someone does that, it can be a bit frustrating. Look at this! All the British Airways kicking it. Oh, interesting. Always love some chat coming in. Let's just remove you, my friend. Love to have more than one person than me in here, but not people putting random stuff in the chat. YouTube life, guys. YouTube life. Right, so 6,000 is in. We've got the flight computers sorted. That's all in.
Edinburgh ground shuttle 90 request pushing start.
Let's just check. Yeah.
Base east shuttle 90, let's push start.
It's going to be a bit of traffic jam. I've got a feeling here that I'm going to want to push and he's going to want to push. Just clearing out some things from the flight plan, guys, just to make sure we've got everything we need. That's all good. Okay. So he's going to push and start from stand 7, which is there. What if we can do the same? That'd be good. And ground, Speedbird 185 is ready for push and start. Hold position, Speedbird 185. I thought that was going to happen. We weren't quick enough, guys. That was the thing. So he's basically waiting for this person to push back, and then we will get it. But we've got our tug in place. Just have to be patient. There's another Speedbird. Gee, Edinburgh Airport, home of British Airways. Wonder where everyone's going. It's cool. There's also someone coming to land at some point, so we'll have a look at that. But yeah, guys, if you're new to the channel, you're super welcome. This is the beta version of I think it's update 8 for Flight Simulator, so thought I'd download it. I'm sure something will happen as we go and we'll figure it out. But yeah, we'll just watch that guy push back. The guy next to us is on standing gone, which is cool. So we'll just wait here as he pushes back. And then it should be our turn and we'll be on our way. Should be about an hour. But we'll see. I'm not sure which way the weather's going, but it's probably going to blow us sideways knowing our luck rather than be a tailwind. In fact, it will be. I think it's pretty much straight down the runway here at Edinburgh. So he's pushed back. You can see his lights on his front nose. That's for taxiing. He's got his nav lights on, beacon. We'll do that once we're ready to push. So let's just put the beacon on for the moment, and then we'll push strobes on. Oh, that's cool. He's super quick. It's just
taxi Alpha 1 by Foxtrot and Alpha Shuttle 90.
British Airways, 8020 Neo, right to left, down
after the passing aircraft, we'll push and start and face east, Speedbird 185. Much easier to say that than go through the whole thing. So we'll push back. Our tail will face this way, our nose will be this way. We'll go out through Foxtrot and then Alpha. Just check behind us, so we're good to go. Yeah, this is us just going back, starting the engine.
Edinburgh ground, was it Delta 1 or Alpha 1 from Shuttle 90?
We can have a look behind and swing us around to the right into the taxiway. It's quite often quite useful to put this view on, guys, so you can actually see where your Taxiing too. Don't want to get caught out and end up on the grass. How stormy it is above us. Some great graphics. Just jump back in. And we'll start the other engine as well.
Greetings, 1585, ready for push and start and confirm departure, climb after departure.
Sorry, say again. Sorry, say again your request.
Ready
The
for
parking brake on.
start and confirm
And we'll get the
climb
tug
after
to
departure.
head away from us.
You mean you want the initial plan, correct?
Affirmative.
Or just that one?
Let's get some lights on, strobes, navs, open taxi.
Green Star 1 at 586 in the meantime, push start operator space north exit 2.
Green dot approved, confirm the base,
Space north on exit 2.
base north on Echo 2.
So, engines are started. Just put in one stage of flaps. See them moving forward there.
Green Star 1 585, it should be initial altitude of 6,000 feet on the pitch.
6,000 feet, Green Star 1585, appreciate it.
Have a little look here. It's all good. Pressure's coming up. Engines available.
Shuttle high, below contact radar 1.1.1-1C in the line.
Max speed brake.
Contact
To
Edinburgh approach
max
21,
auto
decimal
brake.
control for valve.
Take off the APU because we're now running on engines. We'll get going. And Speedboat 185 is ready for taxi.
Good 185, tactical Delta 1, runway 24 via Foxtrot Delta.
Delta 1 for runway 24 via Foxtrot and Delta, Speedboat 185. Cool. So that's out here, guys. Foxtrot down Delta to Delta 1. And if you're confused if that is Delta, in theory, you should be able to see it. Let's say Foxtrot. I think it's probably, well, I guess Delta's down there, right? And Alpha's here, but I think we have to go down that way anyway. So we'll get on our way. And make our way out. To Delta 1's where the British Airways is in front of us. So it's pretty easy to know where to go. So we left turn out here. I always find it quite difficult to taxi the Airbus, I always go a bit too quickly, but now all good. Let's get on here. I'm pretty sure this is Alpha and then it goes to Delta, but there's no other way to the runway, so we're gonna do it. We've got the initial climb of 6,000 in our the autopilot. And we'll get handed over to, I think, approach you're on. We'll do the takeoff config test. It's all good. I won't do the cabin check just because it's quite an annoying voice that comes on. You can see we are cantering down now towards
Green Star 1585, I had some issues with my bed pushback. Can you confirm face north on Echo 1?
You can base east if you can, Foxtrot.
so like
East on Foxtrot.
cruising down the taxiway.
1585.
There is one inbound you can see in the distance, hopefully, a bit blurry. That's my settings. If you've got a much more powerful computer than me, you won't have these issues. But we'll slow it down a bit, and we'll get handed over, I suspect, to Edinburgh approach, which is 121.2, which is already in our box here. So we're just catching up with the Speedbird. Speedbird British Airways, that's the call sign. He's going the same way as us, so I suspect we'll have some separation as we climb out. Have to wait a little bit, and then it'll be up to us to separate once we get away from the approach controller. But we're going different ways down down the UK. So there he is. Here we are.
There's 1555
121.2, have a good day, Speedbird 185. So, we'll just put the parking brake on here, and move over to approach. Edinburgh radar, good morning, Speedbird 185 with you holding in sequence. So, we've checked in, I'll just wait now. Another Speedbird coming into land. Very popular destination, Edinburgh, I think. So, he's lining up, we'll move up. We'll just check that, I don't want to jump the gun, right, but if I go to the airport, Delta 1 is that one ahead of us, so...
Pier 185 is radar on full Delta.
Hold Delta 1, Speedbird 185. So we'll move up, as that other chap is lining up.
1371, 21 track miles, turn left 345, speed 182. 345, speed 182.
Traffic 90 lined up and waiting runway 24.
Oh no, don't say that.
Charlie Kill descent for 1180.
It's quite interesting, like, when you're lined up, he knows you're lined up, so he will let you know when he's ready to release you. So this is Delta 1, we'll just have a mosey here.
One contact ground, 121.75.
You can see British Airways coming off the runway ahead, and then there's a British Airways here. And it sounds like there's one approach.
1371 heading 345 and descent to altitude 3000. Roger, heading 345. Shell 9 Zulu 123 degrees to 1 knots from wind 4.
It's windy though.
Clear takeoff from way 24, shot 90.
There's our so he's off.
Pier 185, find the departing company above speedway 3 via Delta 1 line up.
Find the departing aircraft via Delta 1 line up and wait runway 24 behind, Speedbird 185. I always find that call really difficult to make. You've got to say behind twice. And the reason for that is to make sure you don't suddenly launch yourself into the runway at an inappropriate moment. So, we can line up. All good. Also put on our lights. Oh. Trying to multitask, almost overshot the runway. There we go. Tartan. So we just wait here. And this guy's going the same way as us, so I suspect we'll get a little hold before we go.
Traffic 9 Zulu, passing flight level 250. Climb flight level 250, shot 9 Zulu.
Lake Hill 34 track miles to touchdown, descent to our second south, speed headed by QH100. Number 13711 to establish, speed 160 knots, 4 AV before loading.
So someone on the approach.
Alright.
No count, we have to confirm direct nav.
That's an absolute. So he's just shortcutting him.
So we're heading to 950 MA.
Negative. Direct waypoint nav November Alpha Victor Sierra.
So he's giving him a shortcut. But if you're not used to it, it can be quite confusing because you're following.
Direct nav, so
There we go.
to an idea.
It can be confusing.
185,
Here we go. Clear takeoff runway 24, speedbird 185. Let's go. Keep those engines spilling up. Not good to look out the window so much while you're taking off otherwise. So there's someone coming in on the approach as well, so we're just going to get out of his way as quickly as possible. All about situational awareness. You don't want to hang around on the runway if someone's giving you a takeoff and someone coming in to land. That's V1, we rotate. Wait for the wind to catch us. Gear comes up. Nice view over the bridges. And we get through about 1,000 feet, well, in case you're autopilot. Up there. And then this will flash lever climb soon, and we'll move the levers back into their climb position. Out there, so it's flashing. Just need to make sure we get it settled in. There we go. You can see we're in thrust climb here now. And we're into the clouds already. Once 01 on the QNH, he's just said to everyone, so we adjust our QNH. Don't need to respond to that. Passing 2,900 feet, speedbird 185. Flight level 250, speedbird 185. So he's giving us a flight level, so we got to 250. Go into open climb, we'll bring the flaps up. And we go to flight levels, standard, because he's given us a flight level. So we're now in the gloom. So we're just following the departure at the moment along this green line. Not really sure what this green line off to the left is, but don't worry about that, guys. We're following out here. We can see it on the map as well if we want to take a look. If we close this.
Edinburgh approach, Kilo Green 758.
And we show overlay. We stick our airplane on it. You can see we're just following this departure out to go. Oh, look at the clouds. It's awesome. Looks really good. But we're going to have to turn the brightness up on some of these things so we can actually see where we're flying to. Got a bit dim in there.
185 direct L.
Alright, L-bus, speedbird 185. So, L-bus is actually on the map over there. Hit direct. Stick in L-bus. And hit direct. And away we go. So that's taking us on a left turn now. Direct to L-bus. So I'm hoping the quality is good, guys. Look at that. Cool. I think in the, so this 5-hour mod is amazing in terms of it's free. That's what it says on the tin. I'd expect that green line to just be a straight green line to Elvis, but I can live with that. So we go through the cloud layers.
One two two decimal 8. Thank you for the service, bye bye.
Easter Lake Hill, what's established at 16 knots, so we'll be able back. Tape up and before,
So a lot of clouds. We're just
Star 1585.
going up through the layers at the moment. So be prepared for that, guys. If you're given a departure, quite often you'll get a shortcut if it's quiet, and that's just using the direct 2 button. We'll turn our lights off. We're high enough now, above 10,000 feet. I think everything else should be on the outside. Yeah, pretty noisy, but yeah. So I'm hoping stream's good, guys. Done a few things. We're at 60 frames per second on it, which hopefully is a bit smoother and you guys don't get such a judgery ride. And also just makes it a bit more realistic how we fly these airplanes. I say how we fly them. How I fly them. Definitely not a real Airbus pilot. Never made that claim. It's a bit too scary. So I'll light up the cabin a wee bit more. Beautiful. Here we are, going through the cloud layers. Looks like big marshmallows. The rendering's not amazing on this, and this is graphics card related, I think, to me. I'm running this on an ultra wide screen, so I think you get some stretching on it. But I can live with it. I think it looks great. Saw some videos on X-Plane as well, which the new version of X-Plane 12 looked amazing as well. So a lot of choice coming up, which point means buying a new PC, I guess, at some point to upgrade. Any excuse, right?
Stay angry, someone 585.
Star 1585, climb down flight level 250, on past 4 down.
If you've never done Vatsim before, do a route like this. It's really quiet on a Sunday morning. There might be some air traffic control down as we get further to Cardiff, but we'll see. But look,
That was very unclear, green
coming out of Edinburgh, all pretty simple. There's a ground controller, there's an approach controller, they hand you off.
Star 1585, climb down flight level 250.
Ground control at 250, green 755.
You can keep asking questions.
1585, direct Haven.
If it's a really busy event, you probably wouldn't want to do it because the controls would be a lot busier. But on a morning like this, it's pretty cool.
Direct Heaven, green star 1585.
So it's quite interesting. The chap in front of us who took off in the British Airways, he got a routing direct Navzo, which is here. If I just zoom in here, whereas we got a direct to Elbus, and that's basically to separate us out between each other. So if we were both going the same route down to Navzo, there's a real chance that we conflict with each other. That's very quiet. So we've got a massive headwind at the moment. I say massive, it could be worse. About 50 knots. 122.8, have a good day, Speedboat 185. Oh, I never know why that autopilot clicks off. I think it's something to do with my control setup. Anyway, 122.8 because there's nobody to talk to, guys, so it's just us. So I'll put the flight music up, we'll chill out up here. Our final point I think we're going up to is 310. So we can do that. Let's just keep the climb going. Otherwise we'll be in the murk. And I'll be quiet, let you guys enjoy the noises, and I'll come back to you as we're getting closer to our descent. So guys, we're just about to break through the clouds. It's pretty high today. We're at 30,000 feet and we're going to be skimming along the top here, I think. Which is cool. Always prepare, I guess, ahead. So it's pretty quiet. There's no one on frequency at the moment. Let's just open up the approach. So we're going to be coming in through Amro, Riles, and then there's a procedure that basically you go over the top of the airport, loop out, and then if we were going to go to runway 12, we then, if we go into here, approach, NW IOS. So you then fly out from the runway on this heading 277, loop yourself around, and then come on the IOS. We may do that, we may just vector ourselves. We've got a map that's pretty easy to follow, and that can be quite confusing. So our most likely is that we will go from, let's just have a little look, from Dobem or Kukis, great name, and we might just, if we're heading down onto runway 210, come in as we see fit. Let's have another look. It's not right. Yeah, I was getting confused. So runway 12, so down this way. So yeah, we'll come out here along the coast and then in that way, and we can do that ourselves. That's not a problem. Save us doing the whole procedure. So just skimming along the clouds here in the UK. Cool, if you're into your rugby, a lot of it on today. Should be good. Always is. Sorry guys, I think your view of me just zoomed in. Did not think that was particularly interesting. So we're skimming the tops of the clouds in the UK today. It's not a particularly nice day to fly. It usually, I might have done this before if you've flown in Europe and things, you sometimes skim through haze at the top, and it's pretty bumpy to be honest, but it's not too bad at the moment. We've got crosswind coming from our right hand side of about 60 knots, so that's all good. See that guy who took off in front of us is sitting about, I want to say, yeah, that's a plus, so he's about 2,000 feet above us. So at flight level 330, so we're 2,000 feet below him. Just keep ourselves tucked here so we don't conflict. And you'll see the arrival, so we talked about Ritzy, Amro, and then coming into Cardiff, so if we zoom out even further, there's EGFF. we still have the spoilers on, so we can take that off. And what we can do is also just sync up this. Most approaches start about 7,000 feet. So 7,000, and I usually do a vertical speed of about 1,800 feet. So basically to get from our height down to 7,000 we need to start descending 90 miles before. Helpfully, these rings are miles, so just around the 80 mark, or just over, we'll start our descent, and that'll be towards Cardiff itself. Point Cookis is a good place to start. That'll be the point we look at when we look at these sort of things. Otherwise, I'd say enjoy the view. It's pretty, pretty cloudy. See where that guy is going in front of us. He's going to Heathrow, so at some point he will turn left away from where we are. Cardiff, not a big airport. I don't actually think British Airways flies into it, guys, but you know, it's a game. A simulator, in fact. Yeah, so we'll be hurtling down runway 12, and then we'll take a left turn and come into park. Probably around the control tower sort of way, I would say. And you can see here it says C109A for details, so you go to parking stands. That gives you a bit more detail. So if we go into stand 9 or 10 or around the back. Not a very big airport, but you know, you get these in the UK. It's a bit strange because we have so many airports in this area that fly all over the place that actually people can get there by train. And therefore the smaller airports tend to suffer a bit when it comes to things like Gatwick, Heathrow, Manchester. The aircraft you can see on the display here is 2,000 feet above, 2,200 feet, quite strange sort of height. Could be they haven't set their QNHs to standard to flight levels, but who knows. So let's just bring up the approach again because I just want to double check. You'll see me doing this a lot just to make sure we know what we're doing. So Amral is, if we zoom in here, that's Amral there, and that is Amral there. So then go into Riles. Not really sure what it's expecting me to do with this little loop, but I'm sure that'll straighten itself out once we get down there. You've got Ilbum and then Ugis, and I think Ugis is probably where we want to be, about 7,000 feet, so we can continue our descent and then come into the runway. That is the plan. Let's see how it actually pans out. So probably just when we'll get Ugis up. Not at the moment, but that's quite useful because that's showing the 80 is on the right on the edge of it. Let's go to 160 again. I think we can see, oh, that's how I should have looked down here before. You can put in Cardiff's destination data, so MCDU, add to AOC menu, and we are then into weather request. Hit send. What that does is there'll be a company message that comes up here in a second.